What's poppin', y'all? Offset was recently doing an interview, most likely promoting his new album, and he said one of the craziest backstories that we're getting on one of Offset's biggest hit, not even one of, Offset's biggest hit song, Solo. Or not solo, but you guys get what I mean. Offset's biggest hit song outside of the Migos. I'll put it that way. So I'm gonna play you guys the clip, and then we can kind of talk about this topic a little bit more in depth. This was something that really interested me.
I remember Ric Flair Drip, y'all, just so y'all know.
Hard.
I hated the song.
Bruh.
I hated the song.
Who convinced y'all to put it with a Metro 21 like
Metro.
that?
It was Metro for sure, because it was a West Coast beat. Not saying nothing like that, but it was like during the time, it's 2017, you know what I'm saying, 2018. It's a West Coast beat. When I did it, I didn't take it serious. I'm like going to the Julia Bus, that AP, yeah. Like, I'm not trying to y'all don't even know I cussed it out when the album dropped, because you know, I'm like, bro, don't put this song on the album. He in charge of picking the songs and shit, so I'm like, bro, don't put this shit on the album, bro. He put it on the album. I wake up to it in the morning, like, man, put this song on the album. I'm like, bro, this West Coast beat, bro, I was bullshit. I call him, and then I'll never forget, like 3 days later, we never went on Apple. And he like, I told you, I do this.
Okay, so you guys clearly heard that. Offset at this point, when Ric Flair Drip was coming out, this guy's had hits with the Migos. He knows what a hit sounds like. He's had songs that he probably didn't think were hits that became hits. He's had songs that he knew were hits that probably flopped. He had songs that he knew were hits that probably did become hits. So this isn't someone that's like an amateur that's telling Metro Boomin, hey, yo, don't put this song out. But it's kind of weird because for us, right? Like when we first heard that album, when I first heard Ric Flair Drip, I was like, yo, this is hard. And I didn't think it was going to be a smash hit, like over 1 billion streams. To give you some perspective, this song is Offset's biggest song by, I believe, a factor of 4x or 5x, his next biggest song. It's got like 1.3 billion streams. It's also the biggest song on that entire album, Without Warning. But I'm pretty sure it was Without Warning by Metro Boomin. So I understand Metro Boomin's excitement at the song coming out. But this is just one of those beautiful stories about music because you just never really know what's going to happen. I don't even think they made the music video for this song initially. I think it blew up and then they dropped the music video later because they ended up getting Ric Flair on it. And when the album dropped, Offset even said that he was surprised by it. So he was like, yo, well, why'd you drop that? And he was angry at Metro Boomin, which this kind of just tells you to go with your gut. Like if you know something's hard, put it out. Like, that's a good example of something that Metro Boomin did. He puts out, he knows what's good, or he believes he knows what's good, more than that. And then he dropped it and it ended up working for them. I mean, this is a perfect question because some people say, yeah, Metro Boomin knows what to drop. He knows what to hit. Now, we need to ask Metro Boomin, honest question, if out of all of the songs on that album, did he think that one in particular was going to be the biggest and by that margin? I'm willing to think he probably didn't think that. And it is a pretty basic song now that Offset says he's like, yeah, you know, it was like an effortless song. Well, that's the word I'm going to use for it. He didn't really say that word. He's like, yeah, you know, I wasn't trying too much. I think that may have been part of the appeal. Keep in mind, hindsight is 2020, right? Like I might have been, I would want to say that I'm in the studio and I'm like, yo, that's really hard and I would have enjoyed it, but let's keep it a buck, man. We don't know at that point. We've already experienced it being a hit, but it did feel effortless. Like if, like the Migos, especially when they did the Tim Westwood freestyle, all three of them, and they were just, it's crazy, we'll never get stuff like that again, but they were just flowing off of each other, and they were just freestyling off the top of the dome, vibing to the beat, and it was just so effortless. It was incredible, and those are the moments that I feel like we get music where you feel that you're like, yo, this guy's not even trying, and he's making hits. Circling back to the point where I was talking about the music video not even being ready, this is another example of, like record labels don't necessarily know exactly what's going to be a hit sometimes either, because they did the music video for this song far later, probably after they saw how much it was picking up steam. They're like, yo, we got to get a video in for this. And I don't know, I think there are barely any artists that if a song that they didn't really like ends up coming out and then it becomes a smash hit, that they're like, nah, I don't want to be involved in the video for it. It's kind of like a business decision at that point. I think he grew an affinity for the song. I think people should have asked him, yo, do you like the song now, or do you still like not really mess with it? Because he's had to perform it many times since then. This is just one side or one tale to the story though, and this is why I wanted to talk about this topic, because there isn't too much to say about it, but the other side of the coin is what really interests me. I saw a clip of Ronnie J on, I think it was Twitter or Instagram the other day, when he was talking about his experience working with Ye. He was doing a lot of, I think it was Yandhi at the time, where he said he produced all of Yandhi. So this is an experience of Metro Boomin not wanting something to come out, or Offset not wanting something to come out. Metro Boomin puts it out anyway. It ends up being a hit. You know, he's happy later, but in the beginning he gets mad at him. However, what about people like Ronnie J and countless people that have worked with artists like Ye, who probably believe their stuff is a hit or a smash, and they're like, yo, this is a crazy hit and this is a big opportunity and look for me, and then it just ends up never getting put out. I mean, how many careers have been lost just like that? For example, if you guys remember on Dr. Dre's album Compton, he had this guy Justice, like this, I even did a video on him, this white rapper from Dallas that got picked up by the DOC. And this guy was good on that album, and he was signed to Dre Aftermath, and he never dropped anything. And there's multiple stories about this, where Dre artists just never drop anything, and we never get to hear from them. And who knows how much music they made during that time, and they're probably very frustrated, like, yo, I could have had a career. So with the Ronnie J thing, I think it's even crazier because a lot of Yandhi ended up leaking. I don't really think I've listened to any Yandhi leaks, but people said the whole album leaked, and people loved Yandhi. So that's another layer where they're like, yo, where the producer's probably like, yo, I made this album, it dropped or it leaked, and people love it, yet it's still never going to release. So imagine how good it would have done when Ye was at this high point in 2018, 19, and this album dropped. I'd probably be out of here at that point, because Ronnie J, while we look at him like, yo, that's Ronnie J, you know, put some respect on his name, to a degree, he wasn't seen, and I think he's still not necessarily seen as a real mainstream producer. For example, like an ATL Jacob. Now he's produced big songs. Like he produced Kill Shot. He produced the MGK disc, which is kind of like a funny story. He produced both of those. Is there like any interviews or details on that? I'll probably look it up anyway. But just let me know in the comments if there's details on that. I'd probably want to cover it more. I think it's one of the most interesting stories, on top of Nav having produced Drake's hit Towards Meek Mill and Nav being really cool with Meek Mill. Those are two examples in hip hop where you're like, yo, this is a very weird situation to be in for the producer. Yeah, those cases are some stuff never made it to the light of day or never even got leaked, and some people probably fell off. So this music game is, man, God bless anybody that's involved with this, because this seems stressful. It seems like you don't know what's going to happen next, and it kind of at times feels like you're helpless to circumstances that are just completely out of your control. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. And with Ric Flair Drip in particular, when you first heard the song, did you say, like, yo, this was a hit? For me, it was kind of like a Slippery. I was like, yo, this is kind of a smooth joint. I kind of mess with it. This is pretty good. I'm going to keep replaying this, especially the woo sound effect, or not the sound effect, the ad-lib. I was like, yo, this is it. Not it as a hit. I was like, yeah, this is something that I'm going to keep playing. But I thought it was just like a personal favorite that I was having, not something that would be consensus that this is the hit song of the whole album. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on it, and especially now hearing it back. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.